even more people and give them an opportunity to join in. And so I've devised this little marketing presentation and this plan to expand the fund.
Hey, Bob. So, sorry to interrupt, but you're cutting in a little bit in and out. I don't know if your mic can be put a little bit more in front of you, or I'm not sure where it is. Unless that's just me.
I'm here to cut in. Those who are just listening to themselves.
Good morning. This is Denny Welter speaking. I too cannot hear it. It's inaudible.
Is that better?
Yeah, that sounds
better.
good.
It's better.
There you go.
That's really weird. All I did was put in the other headphone. Okay. Yeah, if that happens again, just let me know. Just basically put together this plan and this calendar moving forward that we can all, really build on. But like I had told the Sunrise Club when it was still the Sunrise Club, it is essentially a very interactive, and we're going to need everyone being a part of this. Last week we talked a lot about being voluntold, and this will be one of those. This will be one of those such cases if we do move forward. So, without further ado, this is my presentation. We're going to go ahead and get started here. If there are any questions, feel free to chime in whenever you feel like it. All right, so basically, this is all about establishment marketing. It's a chance for a new Rotary group to assert itself and to take its rightful place in the community and to share the benefits. All right, brief overview of what I have. We're going to go over goals, benchmarks, situation analysis, target audience a little bit. We're going to talk to call to action. We're going to frame the audience. Then we're going to do strategies, tactics, resources, and everyone's favorite part, the work plan. This is an interactive presentation, as I just said, so feel free to jump on in at any point, whether it's my microphone cutting in and out or it's you have something to contribute. All right, goals and benchmarks. As a club, we need to establish ourselves as the community leader. As Mike said, there's a lot of misinformation about the Rotary Club. When I first heard about it, I didn't know what it was. And it took Mark Adams several months to convince me that it was a worthwhile venture. And basically, I want to be able to cut out the several months, and I want to make sure that people are aware of us without it. This is purposely broad. It's very vague. I do not have set KPIs, but I want to make sure that we are all on the same page, and I want us all to devise a clearer plan going forward. KPIs are key project indicators. Basically, that's our group is going to establish goals, and we're going to achieve them as a group. All right, situation analysis. Currently, this is actually wrong. So when it comes to our situation currently, we do have a Facebook up and running. I see that it's posted to currently, and I do like the progress that's being made there. As for our website, that's going to be a huge project. There's no bright line on that. Me and Mike are going to get together and talk about that a little bit more in depth. So our target audience is basically it encompasses every member of the McHenry area. I break them down into 4 groups. So the first is those who are in need and can benefit from us. The second is who have the capacity to partner with us as the Rotary. That's certain companies. That's people that can contribute. The third are those who can't partner with us but are not in need. And finally, we need to consider the future Rotarians. I want to be able to build our group and to make ourselves a considerable force within the McHenry area. And I think that marketing is one of the ways we can do that. And another way we can do that is by, engaging those that we could consider, whether it's through RILA and it's the young high schoolers and college kids, or whether it's just members of the community that need to be able to hear about us a little bit more. Finally, this is a team effort, as I keep saying, that's going to be a constant theme throughout this presentation. We need to, as a group, we need to be doing this. All right, the call to action. We need to drive our audience to our digital content and ultimately our events. Whether it's a virtual B&B, the Sunrise Secret Santa, or now it's just Secret Santa, and or whatever we're rewriting it as. And then we also want to talk about Oktoberfest. It's going to be huge. We need to drive people to those events. We need to get them in our tent, both figuratively and literally. And we need to make them understand that, hey, this is worth your time and this is a beneficial organization. Because the way we grow Rotary is through these events, and the way we grow those events is through, this marketing plan. Framing the message. We need to hammer down that fact that there is a benefit exchange, that, right now it's a little bit harder with everything that's going on, but the targeted audience attending Rotary events will allow us to increase revenue and the amount of money we disperse, and the TA is going to be getting something in return. The target audience is going to be getting in return that a better connection with who they want. And them partnering with Rotary, it expands their influence, and ultimately it's going to help the community. That's what we're here to do. That's why we merged clubs. And that was a huge point of discussion for us, is that we want to benefit the community. Are there any questions at this time?
Yeah, I have the question. I don't like the abbreviation TA because I used to have a Trans Am and now I miss my car. So can we change that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just kidding.
No, we're going to change that to just call it the Pontiac. At this point, we're just going to call it the Pontiac. All right. Moving on. David's car aside, we're going to talk about some strategies and tactics. Now, I'm not asking for any money for this marketing plan, but it's going to require a lot of time. I have an entire slide dedicated to that, and you'll see here in just a few minutes. But it's going to rely on creating digital content and using word of mouth to promote that content. We're not going to be running Facebook ads. We're not going to be running Instagram ads. We're not going to be running ads on YouTube. That's at least for right now. That might come about later on, but we're talking several months, maybe even a year in the future. Now, in order to successfully implement a strategy, we will need to create a hierarchy of content creation. What this means is basically, imagine, if you will, like a pyramid. I showed when I originally presented this, I actually had a image of a pyramid, and at the top of the pyramid is going to be the executive committee. They're going to be the ones who see every piece of content before it goes out, and they're going to be in charge of, I'm going to bring it to them, and we're going to make sure that everything is good to go. The middle layer is going to be me, and I'm going to be intermediary between the rest of the club and the committee. And I'm going to be there making sure that everything's running smoothly. I'm going to be keeping track of the KPIs and the rest of the goals we set up. And then below that is going to be the rest of the club. Now, that's where I'm going to need a lot of help. There's going to be a lot of delegation. We're going to make sure that this is achievable, and we're going to lay out everything on paper. So at the beginning of every month or so, you're going to be seeing an email filled with everything we're going to be doing and everything I need you to do. Like I said, this is going to be a lot of work. And this is the slide I was talking about. It's 3 simple lines, but I do not need any money for this, but it's going to require a lot of time from all of our members and me, and from our executive committee. And it's also going to require buy-in. If people are not sold on this, if people don't want to participate, if people keep sloughing off deadlines, then it's going to fall apart. This isn't just me and Mike just saying, hey, let's do this. This is going to require every single member of the Rotary Club, and even those up, at the I don't want to say central committee because we're not communists, but those at the district level and above. All right, so we're going to create a work plan. Is everyone familiar with LinkedIn? Let me get
Yes.
okay, so by a show of hands, who is familiar with LinkedIn?
I am.
I
am.
All right, that's awesome.
This is Denny Welter. I'm not.
Okay, no problem. I see a lot of hands, which is awesome. I hope you all are using it. It's a wonderful tool, and it is something that will be integral in creating this marketing plan. So we need to establish ourselves as a professional organization, and one way to do that is by creating a LinkedIn. And that's going to help us spread our word of mouth. Now, is anybody willing to volunteer to figure out exactly? Probably the district. The district is going to lay out a roadmap for creating LinkedIn. And I'm wondering if there are any volunteers who are willing to, explore that further and to go about that. Don't everybody jump on it once.
So Bob, I'm willing to look into that.
Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for stepping up, Mark.
Yeah, that's very cool. Thank you. Yeah, this is, yeah, like I said, we're going to need volunteers. So thanks, Mark. We'll be in contact and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Sounds good.
All right. Next, we're going to create an editorial calendar. This is basically going to be a roadmap, and we're going to create signposts, and it's going to be a beautiful paved road. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be, and basically it's going to be a roadmap for what we're doing, starting in probably August, maybe a week into August. I did include originally, I'll show you what I'm talking about with an example editorial calendar. Yeah, excuse the dates, but basically this is a Rotary calendar. This was for the month of June when I originally presented the idea. And we're going to create 4 videos. You can see all the content that we'll be creating. And we're going to be building off of this. Moving on. So does everyone have like a clear idea of what a editorial calendar is?
Yeah, it looks good, Bob.
Okay, and then I talked already about the 3 tiers. But basically, it's going to require a lot of organization and a lot of shared teamwork, and that's how we're going to get this done. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mike. If you all want to go ahead and sleep on this, at our next meeting or so, let me know what you all think. If this is something feasible, then we can go forward.
Thank you.
I think it's a great idea.
Thanks, Bob.
Does anybody have any questions for Bob on this? I think this is a great marketing plan for us, and I'm excited to see what he comes up with. But any questions at all?
Can you email the slide presentation to us?
Yeah, that'll be, I'll send that to Mike, and then we'll go ahead and forward that to the rest of the group.
That sounds good. I will get that out. If you send that to me today or tomorrow, I will get that out with the meeting minutes. I forgot to start recording at the beginning of the meeting, but I did record your portion of it. So I will include that. So any member that was not able to attend today can at least view it before we make a decision. But I think it's a great idea.
This is Don. I think it's a wonderful idea too. What I'd kind of like to see, and I know it'll go hand in hand, but if we could prioritize membership along, membership development, through this, which obviously it will, but I just think that probably make that a priority in the whole ordeal would be a good idea.
Great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this group, we're gonna set a bunch of goals. I call them KPIs, but goals that does roll off the tongue more. And that will be one of the goals we set. I can't promise any fast results, but that's definitely something we're going to be working towards.
Bob, this is Dennis. One thing, and we did it as Noon Club, but we would put budgets together, and I think what you need to do is look at this thing as a whole entity and say it might take X amount of dollars, let alone the time it's going to take to possibly do this, so that as a new club, if we need to budget some of the funds in order to do it, that it's put into some kind of a budget for long term.
Absolutely. At the end of the email I send Mike, I'll talk about how much time it's going to take me, the committee members, and probably some members of the club. Like I said during the presentation, we're not looking at spending a whole lot of money right now for this. This is going to be pro bono work from me. And then, if any of you want to go ahead and charge the Rotary, that's up to you. But
I think just piggybacking on that, and I love the idea of doing this. I love the plan. You guys all probably know me well enough that I think it's so crucial that, and I've tried to champion this in what we say, is that we have to celebrate what we do on how much good we do in the community and as a group and around the world. And the Rotary, for whatever reason or not, clubs, and it's not just our club, but clubs all over, is kind of the best kept secret. And why? It shouldn't be. We need to celebrate that. We need to get that out there. And having something like this is just, it's more of a structured way that we can almost force ourselves as a club to spread the word about what we're doing. And there's so much that we can do without even having, like Bob said, without having to spend money, that we can start with just the time and effort, that if we really just have a focused plan to spread that, and who knows, maybe one thing leads to another, and this does help us to hopefully increase our membership and increase our relationships in the community, increase what we can do good in the world. And it's just, one thing leads to another. Maybe we do end up wanting to spend some money on this as the ball gets rolling down the hill a little bit more, and we see, hey, now after we've done all these foundational steps on this, now we can build off of that and make our grand Taj Mahal of what our club is, because we've done all of that basis of a work. But we can start with the simple on, let's just put in some elbow grease and get going on all really trying to spread the word and that positivity about what we do, because we're here for a reason, and that's with all the good that we do, and we want to put in that work. So let's celebrate it and let's spread that.
Great.
Thanks, David. Well put.
Thank you, guys. Based on what Don had mentioned, we will be starting up our membership committee next month. Mark Adams has agreed to be our membership chair for that committee. So I will talk with Mark next week about setting up a meeting next month to start that off and coordinate that with Bob. Anything else for the good of Rotary?
Can I make one suggestion on the marketing piece?
Sure.
Go ahead.
First off, Bob, it's amazing what you've already done and the work that you're going to put in. Just looks phenomenal. and I might have missed this in the slides, but I would recommend if we could get like at least a quarterly update, whether that's 5 minutes in a club meeting or even via email on, what's happened, what's going to happen in the next quarter. And then I think that this whole presentation again should be incorporated into one of the first meetings in July every year, so it's always front of mind and that we always know what the efforts are and where we're heading for that next Rotary year as well.
Yes, thank you for your input. I appreciate it. Yeah, you'll be hearing from me quite a bit. Some of you might not like that idea, but that's pretty much what it is. We could probably rotate a little bit so that the executive members talk a little bit more instead of me, because I'm not on my A game at 8:30 in the morning.
You're doing great.
So what you're saying is we're gonna hear from you and just deal with it, right, Bob?
Absolutely. I'm going to talk to Mark Adams about how to change my screen background to make my presentations a little more appealing. But that's pretty much what we're going to do. At one of these, I'm thinking maybe I'll get a little Trans Am and I'll just have that in the background somewhere. But yeah, we're going to figure out what to do. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a learning experience for all of us. I have some expertise in the area. And I'm confident that we can do this. I mean, this is a good group, and there's no reason we can't achieve some solid goals.
Good. Thanks, Bob, for that. I appreciate it. I'm sure you guys may have seen, hopefully you've read the newsletter that Governor Lyle Staub sent out earlier this week. There was a quote on there that I'd like to read. It said, "The best thing I heard this week. The first half of your life is often spent pursuing success. Spend the rest pursuing significance." Thanks to Bob Lee from the Barrington Noon Club for that statement. That is so true. Nothing else for the good of Rotary.
Mike, do you want me to do a rundown on our Blues meeting from last night?
Actually, Dennis
John.
did a great job at that.
Oh, he did? Okay, I'm sorry. I got in late. That's fine. Good. Okay, great. All right.
Hey, Don, while you're speaking up, could you lead us in the four-way test? Let me share that with us. Where is that on my screen? No?
I can do it if I
Maybe
don't
not.
need
Let's just
anything shared.
Go for
Okay.
it, because I can't find it.
The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it
Is it the
true?
truth?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
What build
Build goodwill and further better friendship.
fourth,
will be beneficial to all concerned?
and fifth.
Is it fun?
Let's have fun.
Love that. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Enjoy the rest of your week,
Have a
and I
great
will see
week.
you in 2 weeks.
All right,
Bye, Mike.
okay, friends.
Fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Forgot that it was going to be on there in the morning.